Hey, good morning, babies. Hey, sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one who feels this way. Um, I'm not here. Listen, I'm not here. I'm okay. Come. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one who feels this way. You know, I'm not here to push my ideas on anybody. Honestly, I'm searching. I'm searching for someone out there who gets it, who feels. Excuse me, my baby. I mean, who gets it? Come on, Nala. I'm out here walking my babies. Um, so I, 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 I sat here. I'm out here walking my babies, but I'm searching for someone who feels what I feel. Right? I mean, right now I feel like I'm alone with these thoughts. Maybe I am, and maybe just maybe maybe I'm just one of the children of the night calling out in the dark, just hoping that somebody's listening. But that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm calling for a billion global digital march. Not because I think I don't think that I have all the answers, or not because I want to force my vision on the world. I just want to find out: am I really alone? Or are there others out there who believe we can do better, who believe in unity and real prosperity, and in you know, building something on the law of love. If you're out there, if you feel even a little bit of what I'm talking about, oh, I want you to, I just, I want you to know you're not alone, and I want to feel that I'm not alone. I mean, maybe together we can light up light up the light. God said, if two or more gathered there, He'll sit there in the midst. But maybe together, like I said, together we can start something that brings hope and healing and real change. Listen, babies, I'm look, I'm not I'm not look, I'm not searching. I'm in I'm not pushing. I'm searching. I'm inviting and hoping to find you. Look, look, and when we look at Democrats and Republicans, I don't see two parties. I see a few that's been going on for centuries, and it's just not that it's been going. I said it's just not. I've been. It's not just it's about personalities or today's news. This rivalry it goes back. Okay, look, it goes back and has changed a lot over time. Look, back back in the day when our founding fathers didn't agree on everything, like Hamilton wanted a strong central government and a national bank. Jefferson wanted more power for this for the states and less government to overall. Those parties didn't last forever. The Democrats started. Remember, I just said they started as a party of small government and states' rights, but they split over to slavery, and then the Whigs came and went. Then the Republicans formed in the 1850s, mainly to fight slavery. But listen, this is something important. I think I think everybody knows, but back in the 1800s, it was the Democratic Party, especially in the South, that supported slavery and fought to keep it legal. The Republicans, when it was founded in the 1850s, they actually created and opposed slavery. Abraham Lincoln, the first Republican president, led the country through the Civil War, worked to end slavery. But things changed a lot over time, especially during the Civil Rights era. Many Southern Democrats who opposed civil rights switched over to Republican Party, and then party's positions on the race and civil rights shifted. Um, Sorry about that, babies. Got to make sure I'm not rebelling too much. So yeah, Democrats were the party defending black. So oh, watch out! Wait, Nala, baby. Okay, now, so Democrats were the party now defending was defending black slavery back then, but the parties now today are different. That's why it's so important to understand history and not just the labels. Okay, and we're here. Okay. Listen, and here's the twist. See, a lot of what these parties stood for back then was flipped. Today, Republicans usually push for similar government, while Democrats support more federal programs. You know, almost in the opposite of what it used to be. So you know that's cool. But so many people say Democratic or Republican. Remember, those words have meant different things at different times. But the rivalry that stayed constant, sometimes bitter, sometimes productive, just like those old family feuds. Okay, and really understand where these divisions come from. We have to go back even further to the first English settlers. Okay. Most people didn't come here because England was great. Many were struggling. Landless farmers pushed off their land by the enclosure movement, rising food prices, and harsh laws. Some were even forced into indentured servitude. So they came here. You know, they came hoping and for a better life, maybe to own land and escape poverty. But the new world was the new world was tough. Famine, disease, and conflicts made survival hard. Some colonies faced severe starvation and cannibalism that was recorded. And I think, like I said, we just have to do your history and understand. And here's the ticker. Settlers brought their social system with them. They adopted English laws. They often excluded newcomers and kept social hierarchies in place. So many of these inequities that they fled just got recreated here in the Americas. And sometimes as at the expense of, I want to say sometimes, I think I'm being modest on that, at the expense of indigenous people and enslaved Africans. I think that's being modest, okay? So, babe, look, and listen, I'm gonna stay on because I'll fill in but in short, listen. They weren't escaping. Listen, those English Saxons, because they eventually identify themselves as English. They're two parties. But look it up. Those English Saxons, they were accepting a troubled one, and ideals of freedom and opportunity were complicated by harsh realities and old social structures. So why do we need to? Why is it so important for us to learn history? Okay, why, why is history so important? And we're always. I asked God. I said, Lord, there's a lot of history missing, and I believe history should be taught in every school, and but not just not just the facts, but the why behind political divisions and how our democracy evolved. See, a lot of this is left out. There is some, but a lot of it is left out. Okay, and some schools, they do a great job using programs to encourage critical thinking, to help students understand different perspectives. But we can always do better. You know, if we want to break the cycle, okay? Oh, excuse me, Nala. If we want to break the cycle, okay, of endless feuding, we have to understand where it all started. Look, I know I want to say something that's been in my heart. We're not just Democrats. We're not just Republicans. We're not any of those labels that keep getting slapped on us to keep us divided. We're human beings, babies. The more we let those labels define us, the more we lose sign of what really matters to each other. Okay? There's something I wanted to be shared about George Floyd, okay? I also can't talk about unity without remembering what happened to him. The death of George Floyd was a moment that the world came together in a way I've never seen before. I mean, I'm only 61. My experience is not far as great as as others, but I can reflect on what I've experienced, okay? I mean, it wasn't about another black man dying at the hands of police. It became something much bigger. Sorry about that. It became something much bigger, okay, guys? It was mothers and fathers everywhere across the 7 continents, 7 seas. Okay, seeing that their own children, that moment that man gave his last breath and he called out for mama, it hit our souls, okay? And it wasn't about color or race, it was about humanity. People all over the world, folks, my babies, who had never marched or spoken out before, stood up and said enough. You guys, they said enough. We were all tired of feeling like we didn't have a place, tired of not being able to care for our families, tired of not being respected for who we are. Look, that moment brought us together, even if just for that little while, and reminded us that we all suffer under the same injustices, no matter where we were from, or what we looked like. I don't want to lose that, babies. I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget what it felt like to stand together, not as a separate group, but as one human being. So listen, the reason for this global march, I want you guys to know. Sometimes, I ask myself why. Why call it a billion global march? Because there's 8 billion people that live in this planet, and if we can have a billionaire um, um, that can become a president that focus on individual prosperity, why can't we call for 1 billion people to come together for unity and shared prosperity? I'm asking. It's a small fraction, and it has nothing to do with what we're how you feel, your race, your color. Is what we highlighted, that we're tired. So to me, that's not far-fetched at all. Okay, but but here's the difference. I'm not just talking about prosperity for a few that's at the top. I'm not talking about a new kind of prosperity, one that's been built, you know, um, one that was built on a law that's. I, I, Let me just say this: what I'm talking about, this prosperity is nothing new. Okay, I'm talking about that all we need to do, instead of building on constitutions and old systems that were made for the wealthy or the English Saxons. I mean, we're all now able to buy land, buy property, and do all these things, but it's still, you still fall into the architecture that built this foundation for us to build on. And now you're able to have land, go get a job, go eat in certain restaurants where we couldn't eat before, mingle and have a social life with others. But then yet we're building on now a new separation uh, of people. It is now, it's not black, is not black and Native Americans, is not women, is not your poor people. We found another label to categorize, to push our own. I know, a greater good concept. Okay. So again, what I'm calling for is something bigger. I believe it's possible for 1 billion people to unite, not just for themselves, not just for their own success, but for each other. True unity, for prosperity that lifts up communities, not just individuals. For a foundation that was built on that's built on love, not just on laws or money. Babies, look, I know this is something. So this billion this billion global digital march is all about. That's it is it's all about asking, can we be the generation that finally get it right? Can we come together, learn from our history, and build something new, where everyone matters, and love is the it is the law that guides us. Listen, if you feel the way that I do too, I just invite you to join me and subscribe to my channel. I don't. I mean, if you can support, your support is your body. Your body showing up and just saying what I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired of whatever you tired of. Okay, I want to know. I need this. I need this. I need this for me. Okay, and I'm hoping you need it for you. So let's do this together, babies. Okay. So the next time you hear Democrats and Republicans going on at it, or see people divided by labels, remember, it's it's not just about today. It's a long, complicated history, and the lessons we choose to teach or don't teach will shape the future. So let's not lose what makes us human. Let's come together, babies. Talk honestly and make sure we're building a future based on unity and not division. I don't know any more to say, babies. I don't want to go on a tangent, but I wake up 1 o'clock every morning, and God, it just shakes me. I mean, just my heart. All right, but I don't want to go on a tangent. I don't want to bring my emotions out and what's going on. I want to concentrate on the foundation of what we're talking about. Let's come together. Let's give me that hope that every day when I wake up, there is something to wake up to. Okay? Babies, look, I love you guys. You guys stay safe out there. As my babies say, handle biz. Have fun. And stay safe out there. This march isn't for it's to keep us safe. I don't want this we're starting off good, no King's rally, everybody coming together, and then it gets misinterpreted as being violent and civil unrest, because it is, because we're starting to break the law, going after federal agents, shooting at them, doing these things. Nobody's going to stand for that. And now guess what? We play into their hand, into someone's hand that don't care about anything but how can I make sure that once this term ends, I can fit into this other table. I don't want to go on because that'll be something that probably is more gossip, and I promised myself I don't want to gossip. I don't want to focus too much on what he's doing, but he's setting presence, not for unity, not out of love, not because he cares for anybody. I'm just saying this, if a person cares for something, you came out of a $1 billion network to stand in there to be a voice for everybody. And then even if you was a business owner, I wouldn't even want you to be a business owner, because I don't like the way your mindset's. You're old corporate. You only worry about those who have money, and as long as you keep giving people money, we're going to keep building this off the same foundation that separate us. I hope that makes sense. I'm just out there walking, and me and my baby Nala. Look, this is Nala. Hi, Nala. Come on. Come here, baby. Sit. Me and Nala. This is Nala. Okay. Say hello, Mama. Say hello. This is a new one. But look, babies, I gotta go. I don't mean to keep going on. I don't know. I'm just gonna take what I have and upload it. All my mistakes, all my flaws. Just forgive me if you don't see any cutting, no editing in there. Hey, babies, look, you stay safe out there, and pray the prayer that I've prayed for myself. It helps me that I do not become what I despise. The very person I'm talking about, that I highlight, that I don't become, because greed is greed. Stay safe out there, babies, okay? And I love you guys, and that's it from my heart.